I've been struggling with something the last few days, and I find myself today recording this video for a second time. The first one, I deleted it. Just got done hanging Christmas lights outside the house, and I found myself asking myself, what kind of content creator do I want to be going forward? What kind of content do my subscribers and viewers deserve, and what kind of content do they want? All over YouTube, all over the internet, all we ever get is sunshine and roses. People patting each other on the back, people kissing each other's ass, acting like everything's okay when things aren't okay. I'm not starting drama. I'm not starting trouble. I'm responding to trouble. I wanted to record a video like this back in August. I refrained and I gave the artisan a second chance. I shouldn't have given the artisan a second chance. I will never give an artisan a second chance again. These artisans need content creators like myself. Content creators like myself do not need these artisans. I have 200, 300 soap sets. If I never received another set from an artisan again, I would still have enough to do one review a week for the next 4 years and never review another, and never have to buy another product or review the same product twice. So again, to reiterate, content creators like myself do not need artisans. Artisans need content creators like myself. I have some thoughts. I wrote them down on my phone and then sent them to my printer to keep me on point. Once again, I find myself asking myself, am I going to be the kind of man, the kind of person that only shares with you the positive things, and when negative things arrive, do I share with them? A little over a year ago, I had a bad experience with an artisan. That artisan I wasn't very involved with. They had just started sending me stuff. In fact, it was right after the very first soap set that they actually sent me to review. And they screwed my daughter. They stiffed her for nearly $60 on this fragrance collaboration that we were doing. I was trying to get them to recreate a fragrance. And so we sent them some unobtainium, and then things went sideways. And so that person's still in business today. Their business is struggling, and I guess that's just karma. But I've never shared that with you guys, and I've gone back and forth on whether or not I should share that with you. I have 3 expensive shaving brushes that I bought a couple of years ago. I got screwed by that brush maker. Do I share that with you guys? I didn't share it with you. And there's times that, to this day, it still kind of bothers me. What I have here. Over the past 2 years, my honest reviews have occasionally ruffled a few feathers among artisans. This is never my intention. My goal is to provide thorough and honest reviews that benefit the viewer above all. The viewer matters more to me than the artisan. When I create a review, I aim to produce a video that I would want to watch. And I can't stand, as soon as I think that somebody is the kind of person that is a yes man and just says, oh, this is great, this is marvelous, this is wonderful, you should buy, act now, buy now, buy. I stop watching. Some people it's taken me, 3 months, 6 months, a year to figure out that that's what they are. But once I figure it out, I quit watching. There's no point in watching a review if it's always, this thing is so great. Because of my honesty, I feel that my YouTube channel has grown faster than I may have ever expected. The downside is dealing with companies when the review isn't sugar-coated to their liking. On 3 separate occasions, Hendrix has tried to manipulate and control my reviews. The products in question were Qinglong. He pulled the Qinglong one on me right when I was receiving Opulence Harbinger, my collaboration with him. I published the Qinglong review on August 1st. Links to the videos that I mentioned will be in the description. Everything that I'm sharing with you in this video is just the tip of the iceberg. We don't have time to go into all of it. I'm already at 5 minutes. it's just the tip of the iceberg. I'll leave it at that. Products in question were Qinglong, Lavender, which was just not too long ago. He wanted me to tell you that it was the best lavender in the world. Well, I've been collecting fragrances since high school. Started my wet shaving path in 2013. Became a hardcore, die-hard schnerd around 2015. And so I don't have just one set of lavender like I discussed in my lavender series. And since getting the messages from Pete on Monday, I've actually gone back through. I have 8 soap sets of lavender. 2 of them are the same, but I have 7 different lavenders. I'm not going to tell you something that isn't true. Pete's lavender is a good lavender. I'll refer you to the review if you want to hear any more about the lavender. I feel like that was a good review. I still stand by that review. Pete says I'm hurting his sales. I'm not hurting your sales, Pete. Make a better product. Make a more unique product. Qinglong was green Irish tweed. Everybody's done green Irish tweed. That was the problem with Qinglong. Lavender. Everybody has a lavender. That's the problem with lavender. And it's an essential oil. It's so easy to do right. So, products in question. Qinglong, Lavender, and Vaquero. I stand by what I said in all of my videos. Most recently with Vaquero, Pete had many things to say. Among them, that my review was harsh. It wasn't harsh. It was honest. In fact, I sugarcoated it because I was extremely disappointed with how the fragrance turned out. That was a product that I worked closely with him on. The fragrance that is a clone of is Parfum de Marly's Haltane. Haltane is a projection beast, the kind that you only put 1 or 2 sprays on because anything more than that is way too much. The little bottles that he sent me were very strong. Like I said in my video, at the best, and I'm being generous when I gave the soap a 3 in terms of scent strength, and I was being generous when I gave the Splash and the Extrait EDP a 3 as well. They only last 4 hours max. Within 2 hours, even the EDP is quickly fading, and the exact opposite should have been true with that one. It's something I never shared with you guys. One of the reasons why I put off doing the second collaboration and why I wasn't gung-ho in doing it with Pete is because of everything that went down while I was receiving Opulence Harbinger and preparing for that review. He was giving me crap over the Qinglong one, like really bad. I still have the screenshots. I can't even go into it, how he tried to manipulate me and try to put his words into my mouth. And I'm not the only person that's experienced this. Matthew Lawrence has had problems with him. Rich Hansen, Pete tried telling me that Rich Hansen got burned out and walked away. No, that's not at all what happened. I'm just one of many that's experiencing this with Pete. I'm just the one that's dumb enough, arrogant enough, ignorant enough, has enough balls, or maybe enough care for the community, enough concern, enough integrity to tell you when I see something good and when I see something bad. Where was I? It wasn't harsh. It was honest. In fact, I sugarcoated it because I was extremely disappointed with how the fragrance turned out. If I were being completely honest, I would have said that part of me questions whether Pete intentionally lowered the concentration of the fragrance oil to save money. But that would have been pure speculation. That fragrance oil is very expensive. Pete has been struggling financially for months now, and I've done what I could to help him. But I will not give a dishonest review, nor will I withhold the truth or facts from my videos to benefit a company while hurting the customer. He wanted me to do one of 2 things. 1, not bring up the scent strength and the projection of the fragrance. Or 2, to act like everything was okay with it. And then you buy it and me telling you how great it is, So then it reflects poorly upon me because I'm the one who did the review. Pete has been struggling financially for months now. I read that. He wants to hear his opinion come out of my mouth. He wants my truth to be his truth. He wants his truth to be my truth to drive more sales. That's what it's all about for him. He said, I am hurting his sales. He's basically using me as a scapegoat for his failing company. I learned this a couple months ago while I was still driving bus. I've been in my current job for 10 weeks now, getting my butt kicked at it, getting stronger, adapting to it. But in my final couple of weeks, I first received this video. 10 years ago, Pete did this newscast thing where he talked about how he was on his 6th business and he's an entrepreneur. 10 years later, God only knows how many more businesses he has done. Pete says himself in his own words in that video that he looks for market trends and starts businesses in those markets. That's exactly what Hendrix Classics is for him. It's another experiment, him looking at market trends and seeing what's going to be big in a couple of years and then chasing after it. Pete's been doing soaps now for about 5 years. So if you think back before the pandemic, hey, he's probably right. But guess what? Now, if you look at numbers, it's actually on a downtick. And artisans are feeling it. I've suggested to Pete on many occasions to send his products to more content creators. For a while he did, and then he stopped. Before he was sending things to Matthew and others, he wasn't sending it to very many people. I encouraged him to do so. He did for a while, but then he stopped. When he stopped, I urged him again to send to more people. Send to Ken Surf, send to Mark Zarady. You've got to get your product out there. All it costs you is a few dollars for your product and a few dollars to ship it. But instead, he's been relying on my audience and my reviews to drive his sales. I'm not responsible for your sales, Pete. I just review a product. I think of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. Back in the 90s when he was still a wrestler, he had a famous saying that he would say, know your role and shut your mouth. My role as a content creator is to review a product. Your role as an artisan is to make a superior product. And that's it. It's really that simple. You make the product, I review the product. I'm not responsible for the lack of sales of your product. Pete Hendrix is hurting his own sales. He blames content creators. He changes the base of his soap to save money, and a month or so later charges $27 for a 4-ounce tub of soap. Opulence Harbinger, September 3rd, was the first soap to drop with the Red Rock base. He did that to cut costs on his soap base. A little over a month later, he then raises the prices of his soap and splash by nearly $5 a piece, increasing the price of a soap set by nearly $10. His sales have plummeted since then, and he was already struggling, but yet I'm responsible. I advised him not to increase the price, and if he did, that he would need to slowly increase the price. I told him there's a reason why every time you go to the grocery store, toilet paper has gone up 25 cents, not $2.50. I gave him alternative ideas, such as a 3-ounce tub of soap, as well as other ideas. There's no skin food in his splashes, yet he charges $27 for a bottle of splash with barely any fragrance in it, Vaquero, and then dares to question my review, and he blames me. You got to give the content creator a reason to be excited about your product. You have to make a superior product. That, or you continue to send your products to brand new wet shavers who have no reference at all. Oh, yeah, that's right. I am not an advertiser. I am a reviewer. All of my reviews are subjective. I will not be bought. I will not be manipulated, and I will not be intimidated. My channel is an opinion channel. People tune in to hear my opinion, not Pete's opinion. Pete has a YouTube channel. If you want to hear Pete's opinion about Pete's products, you know where to go. I wish Pete the best. I will no longer, as you can probably imagine, be reviewing products for Pete. I got very little sleep on Monday. Like I said, I've shared with you guys just a fraction of the things that went down. I told him on Monday to never contact me again. He sent me a couple more messages. And then on Tuesday, he sent me a message apologizing. And that's exactly what he did back in August. That's what he did once before, but on a much smaller scale. Qinglong, and then this most recent thing where he reached out to me on Monday, it was just the pinnacle of bad behavior, to the point that I truly now believe that Pete is one of three things. He either suffers from a mental condition, bipolar, something like that. He's a pill popper or some type of drug addict, or a raging alcoholic, because he's like the abusive husband, to where one day he's showering you with roses, treating you with love, and, you know, all is right in the world. And then you do one little thing that isn't to his liking, and he explodes on you and tries to tell you, you know, that you're hurting his sales and that you're, you know, ruining his life. And then after he sleeps on it, he wants to make it up to you with chocolates or, you know, whatever. I'll be selling all my Hendrix classic soaps other than maybe one or two. I'll of course be keeping Opulence Harbinger. I still stand by the things I've said in all of my videos, including my Hendrix classics. I no longer stand by what I once said of Pete Hendrix. I started learning in August, just a couple of months ago, that Pete wasn't who I thought he was. I gave him a second chance, and that's why I didn't say anything. And until recently, he's been on good behavior. He is hurting financially, and my heart goes out to him because of it. That's not my problem. As far as I know, he's running other businesses. I'm not against entrepreneurs. I'm not against capitalism. I believe in capitalism. I believe that capitalism is the best place that the average guy like myself gets a fair shake in the market. But at the same time, he's a businessman, and this isn't his first rodeo. So saddle up, cowboy, and take it like a man, and don't blame others for, you know, what's going on in your life. Take care.